Now, South Korea is waiting to see which new representatives will lead each region. Held every 4 years, local elections like the one that we are having today often are perceived as midterm referendums on the ruling party and the incumbent administration. Now, we go straight over to our Kim Mok-yeon, who is standing by at the National Assembly for us. Mok-yeon, so can you give us a further rundown of this year's local election? What are we looking at today?
Sure, Semin. After nearly 2 weeks of passionate campaigning, political parties in South Korea have finally arrived at their make or break day. Parties have been campaigning and exerting their utmost effort to sway the hearts of the voters until the very last minute when official campaigning period ended at midnight. The ruling Democratic Party of Korea focused on the so-called Gyeongbu railroad line, campaigning around 5 cities between Seoul and Busan, while the main opposition Liberty Korea Party was relatively quiet, with their party chief campaigning mostly in central Seoul. The minor opposition Bareunmirae Party continued electioneering by touring around Gyeongsangbuk-do province. Out of some 4,000 posts up for grabs, much attention is focused on the position of Seoul mayor, as it's often deemed a stepping stone to the presidency. While candidates from the ruling and main opposition parties, Park Won-soon and Kim Moon-soo already casted their ballots during the early voting period, minor opposition party candidate An Chol-soo visited a polling station in Noan district to cast his vote about an hour ago. Another special event we're looking at today are the by-elections, which are being held simultaneously to fill 12 vacant seats in the National Assembly. This year's by-elections are being dubbed mini-general elections, as the results will determine which party will take the majority of the seats in the parliament, as currently the ruling party has 118 seats, while the main opposition holds 113. In South Korea, becoming the largest party means a lot, as it selects the parliamentary speaker and has the upper hand when it comes to choosing the heads of the National Assembly's standing committees.
Now, Mok-yeon, the majority of the polls released on Wednesday show the ruling Democratic Party of Korea on track to sweeping wins nationwide. But as we all know, elections can be very unpredictable, and there are still a lot of variables to keep in mind.
Well, we can probably point out to the overall voter turnout and the number of swing voters as possible variables that could influence the results of the elections. Though the latest polls show a higher chance for the Democratic Party to take the lead, with the ruling party leading in 14 of the 17 metropolitan cities or provinces, there's hope for other parties, as some polls indicated between 20 to 40% of voters still haven't made up their mind about who to vote for. Also holding the key could be voters referred to as shy conservatives who don't tell pollsters that they actually support the main opposition Liberty Korea Party. Back to you, Semin.